What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Nia Amber.
Yeah, what it do, man? It's your boy, 8Ball.
Yo, this your boy, Pimp Type. MJG, 8Ball and MJG, and you're listening to Dear Millennials,
the lit-ass podcast.
Make sure you guys have a lit-ass week, all right? You know what it is, the baddest chick.
What's up, Dear Millennials, the Lit Ass Podcast?
Lit, motherfucking litty.
What it do, baby? It's your favorite podcast in the world, Dear Millennials, the Lit Ass Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching YouTube Live, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. You're in for a lit ass treat. It's your boy, Top Frank, Marvin Frank, singer-songwriter, educator, student to the game, homie, lover, friend. I don't have any R. Kelly news today. Yep, I know. McLovin, what's up, brother?
What it do, baby? In the words of Marvin Frank, man, it's your boy, McLovin. Got these chicks hot straight out the oven. Educated, motivated, dark skin, Jameson, teacher, preacher, got you down laughing, calling me the Grim Reaper. Ugh. What it do, Mary Jane?
It's your girl, Mary Jane, Georgia raised, Memphis made, book club creator, the HBCU advocator, and you already know your favorite around the way girl.
And together we are Dear Millennials, the Lit Ass Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, 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 very special guest joining us this evening. Y'all, show your love. I don't even know how to begin this introduction. Jazz Kelley, girl on drums. She's a professional drummer, entertainer, and model, originally from Carrollton, Georgia, but she reps the ATL. She's a graduate of Mary Jane's esteemed alma mater. What they say? The Unsinkable.
The Unsinkable. Don't forget Unsinkable.
The Unsinkable Albany State University.
Albany State University.
You may have seen her ripping it up with the NBA's Atlantic Hawks, the MLB's Atlanta Braves, NFL's Atlanta Falcons, J. Cole, Jermaine Dupree, ESPN, Olay, Portia, and the list goes on. But more importantly, she's about service, y'all. She's about giving back to the community. Y'all, show your love for none other than Jazz Kelley.
Let it go. I'm good. Oh, they dropped the music. Okay.
Oh, no, we didn't drop the music. It's still going. It's still there. Oh, no, we didn't drop the music. It's still going. It's still
okay. Let me do my thing.
How you feeling, Jazz?
No, I'm good. How y'all feeling? Can y'all hear me okay?
We can. Do you have it playing in the background? We can. Do you have it playing in the background?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you better now. Yep, that's good.
Okay, cool.
All right, Jazz, how you feeling?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing amazing. First of all, let's start. When did you start playing drums?
I started playing drums when I was like 5 years old, low key. So I've been playing since I was like a little kid.
Okay, so you've been playing since you were a little kid. When did you realize that, this is what I want to do? This is what I want to pursue more? When did it become a career? At what point?
Well, I was in high school and I was taking pre-med classes because in my mind I was like, oh, I'm going to go to school to be a doctor because that's what my parents told me. And then I was like, I don't want to be no med-surg doctor. I'll deal with teeth because, I like smiles. And I convinced myself like, oh, this would be great. I can make people feel good about themselves, like by fixing their smiles. But really, it wasn't for me. And I realized like I was good at it, but I hated it. So that was when I just I think I want to do music. I didn't know what that looked like, but it was definitely like my senior year of high school. A few months before I think I went to go visit Albany State. Excuse me, the Unsinkable. So.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. We appreciate you joining us, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just tuning in, Season 5, Episode 4. Were We Lied To as Kids, featuring Jazz Kelley. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to go ahead and get to it. We're going to start with Living Single with Mary Jazz.
All right, you all. So you already know how living single works. If you have any juicy stories about your experience dating as a single male or woman, please submit them by clicking the link in our Instagram bio at Dear Millennials _. So we'd love to come on the show and discuss them. So let's discuss a new submission from one of our faithful listeners. So it goes, Dear Mary Jane, I'm on a date with this guy that I met at the gas station. We went for dinner and it was a great experience. He was very charming. However, the day ended with me giving him advice on how to get back with his ex that he hopes to marry. After that, I was pretty sure there was absolutely no chance of us ever linking again because he's obviously not over her. But he reached out to me about a month later to go out again. What should I do?
Woo.
It's gotta be a joke.
Hey man, there's a whole lot of camping going on at the gas station. I'm gonna start there.
First of all, yeah, we can start with the gas station.
But no, I think the gas station is cool. I mean, you should meet people casually. A gas station is a casual place to meet somebody. It could be a little weird.
You would hope.
Yeah, fellas can be a little weird. I guess. I don't know.
Are you having a hard time answering the question?
Yeah, because I mean, she gave him advice, obviously, and so he's not over whoever he was previously with. But isn't that the point of moving forward and trying to date? If it was just a date, what's the harm in them going out if he's trying to move forward? I guess that's my question. And I think she should go out again. That's just me.
And you think she should?
Yeah, he might not, but he reached out again a month later. Maybe he had some time to think.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think I agree with Marvin. You know, sometimes when you get out, you're just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm with this chick and I'm gonna tell you what's up. You know, so I'm gonna take my past situation so you can be up to speed to what's going on. But I think where I'm confused that do she know for a fact that they was trying to get back together, him and the ex, or was that just an assumption?
Well, it says that he had hopes to marry her. He wanted to marry her.
I want to marry this chick, but it ain't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't together no more, so shit, fuck it. But what you doing this week? I know I told you all my life story and I love this chick, but enough about her. Like, you know, I feel like, you know, let her know your background story is okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she didn't ask, I feel like that's, you know, that's a story for another day. Like that shouldn't be like a first date type thing, you know, in my opinion. So,
what do you think, Jazz?
I don't know, because I got a lot of questions. Like, I think I would have to like investigate why he's hitting her up a month later and why he wants to go out. Because if we're gonna have a counseling session and I'm like interested in him in a romantic way, that ain't gonna cut it. Because now my price done went up. We're not going on a date. You're asking me for a counseling session.
But can we not agree that getting to know somebody is like, you know, learning stuff like that, knowing stuff.
I get that, but that's why I say I would need more background information on where they both stand, because I don't know whether she like behind the scenes was like okie doking around, hoping and praying that something was gonna work out when he told her what was up from the jump. Versus, I don't know if he is not being honest about certain things up front, and she's just trying to kind of feel her way. So it's a bunch of different narratives I feel like he can take on that.
And two, I guess what's also kind of confusing to me, In the beginning, she says, I quote, "We went for dinner and it was a great experience."
You loved it.
That's confusing. So what do you mean? So it was a great experience, but
Well, dates can go well and then end badly.
She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
No, she said, however, the date ended with me giving him advice on how to get back with his ex that he hopes to marry.
Oh, so
Right.
he's trying to get back with the egg. Nah. That
he hopes to marry.
Yeah, or maybe he realized, you know what I'm saying? We can realize something. We can be like, damn, I'm off of the black man. Like, damn, you know what? I thought I wanted her, but now I want you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now I don't know the ins and outs of this relationship, but Beyonce knows mom, Miss Tina. Well, nah, she's not Tina Knowles anymore. She's Tina. Is it Tina Knowles Smith or something like that? I don't know. But anyway, Beyonce's mom, her and her husband just celebrated their anniversary. And people were going crazy because in her description, it says they've been knowing each other 39 years. So which one would assume that, you know, they
probably were friends.
Okay, that's
back
cool.
in the day.
So as a friend,
old people
were on the rock. You
tend to go back to friends.
Huh?
I said old people tend to go back to their past when things
don't work out.
Yeah, when things don't work out, I feel like old people tend to go back to their past.
Are we old?
I don't.
Like Beyonce's mother is older.
Again, my point is that I don't think it's so out of this world to think that two people can connect. They may not be in the space presently to engage and pursue something further, but it's not like they can't come back to it. And in this instance, I guess I'm saying just give it a shot. Second, let's see what happens on the second time. If the second time this ends up a counseling,
You still boohoo crying?
Yeah, and he ends up crying and he's still talking about his ex. Yeah, go ahead and kick it. But I feel like she's obviously kind of feeling him because she was one. You know, she said she had a great time though.
Wait, how old are they?
Oh, I don't know that information.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess, be open. I agree with that.
Well, my thing is this: y'all always want to not give us a second chance, but damn, y'all want us to give y'all every chance it is.
Cap.
We don't give you guys an opportunity to give us a second chance most questions like that. But I do want to speak on this really quickly. I think that while it sounds great to pretty much, just like, okay, let's try it out for another date. Women go through so much toxic mess when it comes to situationships, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to dating. And it's kind of like you kind of know your red flags. Like, a month later, he may be interested in you, which could be very true. She's probably a great woman. She seems like she gives great advice. So she's like, down to earth. But when exes are at it and they are back and forth like that, it's like setting yourself up for a trap, So I can see why she can be hesitant. I can see why she might be hesitant about it because that's like a toxic red flag.
Have you ever seen Brown Sugar, Mary Jane?
Oh, first of all,
that's one of my favorite movies.
What's the now Lathan?
Yeah, listen,
that's one of my favorite movies.
I'm sorry. This guy.
No, go ahead, Jazz. I'm just saying.
Somebody said recognizing red flags is important on my timeline. One time for Mary Jane. Okay.
You have to do that when you're dating.
Yeah, but we ignore the flags though. We'll see, especially, I don't know about guys, but I can speak for myself. Women will try and ignore certain things in hopes that things are going to work out in this very tail way of what we have as a relationship or anything.
We do too.
Whatever. First of all, did y'all hear that? Did y'all see that meme that's been floating around? I be messing around with this guy knowing he ain't shit, but just to have a good time.
Me.
I can go on date by myself.
You gonna have a good time.
I'm over it.
So what are you all advising her to do?
I think that she should tread lightly. Like if you're gonna go on the second date, by all means, enjoy yourself, go on the date, get to know the guy a little bit more, but also have in the back of your mind that he might, somewhere down the line, still be fooling around with his ex. That's just how the story goes with exes. If they are back and forth, you have to assume that until they cut ties completely, they're going to continue to go back and forth because they are toxic.
How would you know?
Because that's how it goes with exes.
No, listen. How would you know? How would you know that they finished?
Oh, you just gotta step back and watch. That's why I said tread lightly.
What you looking for?
You just gotta tread lightly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't be hopeful. Just understand there's a possible chance that.
Same thing.
Say that again.
This going back to the Lord Harvey and a future thing. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Well, Lori Harvey posts every guy that she's dating, so
Whoa.
it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I don't advise women to post every guy that they date.
Yeah, I don't need. Well, I can't advise anybody to do anything. I just know for me personally, I don't because I use my social media for like business and building like my community. I don't want to get them attached to someone who's not going to be there forever.
Exactly.
I don't want to move my brand,
And I understand that. At the end of the day, to the king who missed his ex-girlfriend, just date them both, bro. Just date them both. Date them, bro. Date them both. I'm telling you, you ain't losing. Date them both.
Well, I this unpopular opinion. I agree.
High five.
Because listen, because dating is one thing, but being in a committed relationship is a whole.
Yes, exactly. That's different. Exclusively dating is totally different.
Yeah,
we have two girlfriends.
We've been trained. It's like taboo, and I'm not saying date for sport, but I'm saying like if you're a young adult and you haven't really experienced anything, you're trying to figure out what you like and what you don't like. I think that number one is very, very important before anything is to get to know yourself, because a lot of times we walk into these relationships and we're walking into the relationship empty-handed, expecting for the other person to be our end all be all when that is not the source of your joy and happiness. Or at least it shouldn't be. And so then you end up at the end of the relationship tired, drawn out, stressed out, and worse than what you started because you put your trust and your hope and your identity in something that is not there. And so I would say number one, get to know yourself, date yourself, be okay with taking yourself out on a date, be okay with walking in the room.
Which is very fun.
Yeah, and then like, what triggers you, like an experiment and date and get to know other people, try different personalities, because the only way that you're gonna know is by experience. Like experience is super important because experience exposes you. So I'm not mad at date them both because y'all aren't in a committed relationship, and I think the main key is communication. Hey, what are we doing? Are you dating other people? And be okay with telling the truth. Yes,
Absolutely.
I am single. I'm not in a committed relationship. I was attracted to you. I wanted to get to know you. We can go from there. It's that simple.
Well, in the words of Jennifer White on our YouTube live, shout out to Jen. Woo! Come on here, Jazz.
Hey, girl.
Great way to close out our segment. Thank you, Jazz. If you're just tuning in, season 5, episode 4, Were We Lied to as Kids, featuring Girl on Drums, Jazz Kelley. We're so honored and privileged to have her joining us. So let's go ahead into the conversational piece. Oh, also, coming up real soon, Kicking It with Karys Belger. Stay tuned to hear from our Dear Millennials correspondent. All right, to our topic on this evening, as it's stated in the title, were we lied to as kids? So let's start with this quote. You can be anything you want to be. Did you all hear that growing up as millennials? Was that something that you heard? Who did you hear from?
My mom, certainly.
Everybody.
Right. Mom, family, grandparents.
The homeless nigga on the street. Everybody.
How about you, Jazz?
Everybody, the dare officer, the white man that they. Never mind. Like all of my white cousins out there.
So I agree. I heard it as well. Do you all feel like looking at your life now, growing up thinking that, hey, I can be anything I want to be. Do you believe that was true?
I do.
Why do you say that?
Because I do. Like, my life is kind of an example of that. Like, you hear people say, oh, I want to be a rapper. Or I want to be a ball player, like all the time. But a lot of these things aren't really traditional. These aren't like, oh, I'm going to go to school for 4 years and get my perfect little degree, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to make close to 6 figures where I'll be happy and get married and have a family in the suburbs of Atlanta, wherever you are, But I think that is true in a space because, like I said, I'm walking proof of it. Like, I didn't realize that this was my dream. But the moment that I figured out that I was a drummer, it was always like, no, this is what I'm going to do. Even in spite of me being in medical classes, I think that it was true. Now, whether I have permission from people who are around me is a total different subject. But I do believe that anything is possible and that, like, you can do anything that you put your mind to, because the mind is a powerful thing. I've seen somebody at rock bottom who don't have nothing literally rebuild. I mean, so let's put it in perspective. Donald Trump has balled out several times. You know what I'm saying? Like, dropped the ball, hit bankruptcy, all those things. But if you research his story, what happened? He still became president of America. Still became like the president of the United States. So with that being said, if Donald Trump can be president, and it's no disrespect for whoever you vote for, vote, period. That's that. But at the same time, if that's not enough proof that you can do anything, I don't know what is. Because Donald Trump was like the epitome of not qualified on paper. Like, he didn't go to school for that. He didn't do no campaign. You know what I'm saying? Not to compare and contrast. Like, but I'm talking about candidates that I know that I can relate to. Like Obama, I knew that Obama wanted to be president because that's a part of his story. He talked about when he worked up to it, when he met Michelle for the first time. Like, that was obvious. I never heard Donald Trump and studying him saying like, yo, I think I'm going to start preparing to be president. It was just like kind of out the blue for me. So for me, I was just like, I don't really agree with everything. But at the same time, this gives me inspiration because I know if Donald Trump can be president of the United States, I can do whatever I want.
Interesting. Okay. What about you, McLovin?
I'm gonna have to go with nah. And I don't not to deter anybody's dream or anything of that sort. I think there's systems in place in some instances where you aren't able to be whatever you want to be in life, and I mean that's just it. And Jazz makes a reference to Trump, but I also understand that Trump is a white male.
That's true.
So for me, no, as a Black kid, I was told that I can be whatever I want to be, and I believe that it's false. I do.
Interesting. What about you, Mary Jane?
I don't think that we were lied to as kids. I think that some information for some families may have been left out. For example, you can be anything that you want to be given the adequate resources and the skills and the drive to advance and improve in those skills, because very much so, you can be whatever you want to be, but sometimes you don't have those resources. Sometimes you are the best basketball player, but you're going to have to put in the work to be the best. That's with anything. So in order to put in the work to be, in order to get to where you want to be in your life, to be what you want to be, you got to put in the work to get there. So I just feel like some information was left out, and it's definitely like how to be what you want, whatever you want to be.
Okay. Is it me or is it like we can grow up feeling like, hey, I can be anything I want to be, but you reach a certain point in life where, in my opinion, you may have tried, like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Believe this or not, young Marvin Frank was a hooper.
He was a what?
I loved basketball.
Oh.
I tell you, so I mean, and I'm telling you, I was gifted. I was gifted in that I dribbled with my right and I shot with my left. Anybody familiar with basketball knows that when you shoot with your left, that means, you got a nice shot on you. Anyway, my mother and father, they sacrificed to put me in all type of basketball camps. I practiced. I didn't have a goal at home, but my mama bought me the Magic Johnson, like, fundamentals tape. So I would be outside dribbling, doing everything that I possibly could. But I reached a point to where, as passionate as I thought I was about basketball, I realized that I cannot go to the NBA. Whether it's because I didn't end up 6'3", or for whatever reason, though I was always told, yo, you can do this if you I did put my mind to it.
Sometimes you have to, sometimes your dreams have to make adjustments. You may not have been able to go to the NBA, but perhaps you could have been a coach. Perhaps you could have trained kids to be going to the NBA had you continued to master in your skill. Sometimes anything that you want to be, like I said, because of the resources, it has to be adjusted, or you have to you really have to put in that work. Sometimes because you don't truthfully, fully want to do it, you can't be it.
Yeah.
I agree with that last.
I agree with that for sure. Marvin, if you was a hooper, you might not have been to the NBA, but you could have been to an NBA game. You know what I'm saying? So
oh my God.
They just tried to hard.
Hey man, read between the lines, buddy. Read between the lines.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Okay.
Disrespectful. I don't know.
And I love that. And I think too, what we often heard was you can do anything you put your mind to, like you all mentioned. And I think that's a really important component of it, because you could be what you want to be, but putting your mind to it, just kind of gives you a certain amount of push.
I think the perspective though is you can do anything that you put your mind to that you believe in. That's all that it is down to though. If I believe I can do something, it's going to happen.
Oh yes.
Like Nancy, like when your mama be like, so gun ho, are you not doing something? You do everything out of your power to make sure that you do it.
So let me ask you this though, Jazz, because that sounds good. And I'm not even disagreeing with it, but I want to pose a question. For example, you take entertainment. You're a famous drummer with a beautiful brand. Shout out to Jazz Kelley, Girl on Drums. Y'all subscribe to that YouTube channel. There are a lot of people in your industry who move to Hollywood. They move to Los Angeles, New York with hopes and dreams. They practice. They put their mind to it. But they end up coming up short for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Bro, you are crazy. McLovin talking about loving a pimp. So, I feel sometimes like we've grown up in this fantasy world where we romanticize a lot of things and we fall in love with the fantasy of it. But again, to my question, what's your take on people in your industry who have put their mind to it, but they fall short from accomplishing what it is that they wanted to accomplish, especially in entertainment?
Right. But, what's considered falling short, though?
Or even putting your mind to it.
If I move myself to Los Angeles, with the hopes of signing, I don't know, with Aftermath, I'm looking for a deal. I'm trying to link with Dre. Whatever. I get out there, I do all that I can do. They're not rocking with me. They're not messing with me. I end up sleeping on the street, which is a reality for a lot of people who move out to those places.
Very much so.
So what's your response to those that have felt like I've put my mind to this?
I mean,
that's what I'm
y'all ever seen that picture where the guy is like digging and he's trying to get to the goal, and right before he gets to the goal, he stops. Honestly, I think that, like, so there's a lot of stuff I can say about this, because it's like, this is what I love. So when you really are supposed to be doing something, it won't leave you alone, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, while you're doing it, it's not going to all be sweet. My life ain't all sweet. I talk about it all the time, 24/7 in my stories, because I want to make sure that people understand where I started from. Like, I walked across the stage with a 69.9 in one class that I needed in order to graduate.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it was that, and not because I didn't study, but because, shout out to admin in the music department at the time, who accept my transcript. So I ended up taking Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 at the same time, because I had to get out of graduation. But anyway, that's another story. So back to what I was saying, if you're supposed to be doing it, it won't leave you alone. And then number two, if you believe that, you're not gonna stop, because it won't leave you alone. I have tried to quit drumming, but that's how I knew that I was supposed to be doing it. I was like, man, this for the birds. Like, bro, I'm finna just go get a corporate job and work my way up the ladder and settle down with somebody's son, and we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. But 30 minutes later, I'm like, yo, that'd be a dope idea. Yo, I'm gonna go play drums right now, because it won't stop. And so I think that for people who end up in those situations, because I've known people, I've talked to people on the streets who've been in that space, there's some kind of disconnect, because I believe that we go through experiences where we're supposed to connect certain things, but if you don't connect the dots and get in alignment, then you're going to repeat the experience until you understand what you were supposed to learn from that season of your life, because it's always a lessons. It's never an L, it's lessons. And if you look at it from that way, then you never lose. You always learn. So I learned quickly, this doesn't work. Let me go do this over here, because that wasn't working. And let me try something else, and let me keep trying until I get it. Because the simple fact of knowing like how the industry is, the simple fact of knowing how California is, how Atlanta is, how New York, I'm taking Atlanta out because we kind of love people here. But to go to these ideal new Hollywood cities where it's like, I'm going to go after my dream. A lot of us go after our dreams when we weren't even supposed to. Like your conscience, your universe, or whoever you believe in told you like, this ain't the time yet. Pull back some, and we go prematurely. And what happens when you have a baby prematurely? A lot of complications.
Oh, wow. I love
it. Die.
Wow.
The mother could die. The baby could possibly die. You could get very, very sick. You could come near death, and that's traumatic. And so it's like we jump into these spaces prematurely because I believe that where there's purpose, there's provision. And so when you jump prematurely, then that negates everything else. And so now you're out of the alignment with life and the universe and whatever, and going down this path that you ain't necessarily have to go down to. But even in that, there's still beauty in that journey because you can still come up from that. You just have to recover. Tyler Perry lived in his cars, but he talks about it. Mm-hmm. And now this man has created a film studio, one of the largest film studios in the world, a black man. Let's talk about it. In Atlanta, Georgia, on an airport base, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the history of that? Yeah. They don't want no black man doing that in East Point, and got a sign up there. That's proof right there. So I don't believe that there is like a no. I just believe that time and seasons are very, very important. We know one thing, that winter always comes, but we don't ever prepare for it. What comes before winter? Fall. Prepare accordingly.
Yep.
Next year, nothing's going to change. Winter's going to come again. Fall's going to come again. Springtime's going to come again. It's going to be time for you to reap the harvest, but we don't prepare accordingly because we're looking at the seasons out of context.
Preach, up.
Listen, let me stop.
No, you got to stop.
But yeah, no, that's literally how I feel. And the only reason I feel that way is because that's what I've lived. That's what I've experienced. I know what it's like. Like, if you want to be real transparent, let's get into it. Last week, I was filming for a TV show that I can share with y'all off camera later, but or I can share now. There's a TV show that's coming out called Long Slow Exhale, right? And I was blessed enough to be a part of that production. Shout out to the cast and all the homies over there. And so in between that, I had a rental house. I had 2 rental properties that I was looking to transition to keep stuff going. Both of those rental properties fell through. I didn't know there was such thing as like a renter's bid where if somebody come through and they're like, I want to pay more rent than the other person, and then they go, boop, boop, you out the window. Because I had some other situations. So now I'm in transition and I'm staying with a friend because I got to go look for another rental property, right? But this is all in the midst of me teaching drum lessons still. This is all in the midst of me performing on a Hollywood set in Atlanta for Paramount, right? These are big companies, television. This is all in the midst of me having to go to perform at Easter Sunday service, all in the midst of me having Atlanta Hawks rehearsal. But nobody knows that. This is the stuff that we talk about.
Exactly.
I got a picture to prove it, like sleeping on the floor. I was like, hey, yo, take this picture. Because I want people to remember it. And I'm not going to post it when I glow up. I'm going to post it now.
Right.
Because we don't talk about it. So that's why I say that. Like, no, it's real. Like, I got a phone call today. McLovin was like, yo, I'm going to hit you because I got something real important. It's possible.
Right. Well, I appreciate you.
Also going to add, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mary Jane. Then we're going to move on to the 10 DM commandments. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to add, like, the biggest thing is people, for one, expect that with this fantasy that you want to create because of this dream of being whatever you want to be, you have this fantasy and this idea of how it's going to work, and you forget about all of the challenges, the trials and stuff that comes with it. You forget about the sacrifices that it takes to get there. If you forget about the multiple priorities that you have to balance, like, you know, people run off to LA, but then they don't get jobs to do both work, you know, living in LA, working, going out for their dreams. They just want to just go straight to the goal. And then you quit without, like I said, without putting in the necessary work. Like, you want to get there. You still have to fulfill all that it takes to remain alive, to take care of yourself, and to achieve that goal. Like, it takes a lot. You can be whatever it is that you want to be. There might be adjustments to it based off of your resources and what you're capable of doing, but then we quit or we don't find alternative routes.
Man, name one Black mama who has ever said, I ain't gonna make a way.
Oh, right.
Come on. We done seen it, bro. Most of the Black community has come up from nothing. Get out of here. I ain't never heard my mama say, I don't know how we gonna make it. No, my mama said, and all the other Black mamas and aunties and grandmoms said, I don't know, but we gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And shout out to Miss Captain Belger, who said all love the salt story. She was referring to something in the chat, but she said we moms do all the things.
Facts. Shout out to all the moms, man.
Yeah.
Man, I be want to cry sometimes holding my knees. Like, girl, what you doing?
Exactly. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead to our top 10 DM commandments. Yep, and the music did not cue as I needed to, but it's all good. Here we go. It's now time for our top 10 DM commandments. These are laws inspired by the culture and for the culture. Let's go to commandment number 1. In the choir saying together, thou shalt not
support Trump.
No. All right, commandment number 2, thou shalt know proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Piss poor performance promotes pain. This is a model that I go by in life, but I want to make a reference to my guy Kanye West, who just sold a story to Netflix, a document that he's been working on for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all Jesus is upon us, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was all in his plan. Write the vision, make it plain. Hello now.
Oh, hello somebody. No.
Should have bought a Honda. Ooh, hey.
Oh, gosh.
They run.
Hey, come on now. Commandment number 3.
All right, commandment number 3, thou shalt stop vaccine shaming. Yo, I don't know. I'm just so tired of people talking about others who choose not to take the vaccine. But I don't understand, why are we just so prideful of this? Why are we so prideful of having access to it? Why are we talking down on folks who choose not to take it because we're just not ready? What's going on? Stop vaccine shaming and just let it be.
I agree.
Commandment number 4, thou shalt stop, drop, Shut them down, open no shop.
Hey.
No.
That's a
Rough
Riders
Riders road.
Man, rest in peace to DMX. Have a real quick moment of silence, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Rest in peace, brother Earl, man. Yo, the hip hop, just the world has taken such a great loss. I do want to say this though, really quickly. I was having a conversation with my aunt, and we were both talking about something. The most disappointing, I guess, part of people grieving or sharing their sentiments is that I feel like a lot, especially celebrities. I don't know if I want to go as far as calling them enablers, but for example, DMX was on Drink Champs. I love Drink Champs, by the way. He was on Drink Champs. It's a.
Okay, yeah.
He was.
I actually want to go on that show. If y'all are listening, call me.
and I love Drink Champs, by the way, and I'm not blaming him for anything. But DMX, whether he's recovering or has a struggle with alcohol, that's not the type of setting he needs to be in. So I was just very skeptical. Everybody's sad, this and that. But how were you accountable in his recovery? How were you accountable in not putting him in compromising situations where, but that's...
No, I agree. We had that conversation too about giving people their flowers while they're here. Because I think it's like what we said, like in the pre-show, you have your holies of holies, and those people need to be held, they need to be held accountable to hold you accountable. Yes, we're all adults, but you still don't want to allow everybody in your space because that's a sensitive stuff. Like, it's only certain people who deserve to see you at your best, and it's only certain people who deserve to see you at their lowest of lows. And that's a very intimate space. So I totally agree, because that's just a sensitive thing, even though Drink Champs is not crazy, but still to be, in an environment where you struggle with that, I think we can do better about protecting our people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Understanding, when in Rome, do as Romans. Right. If I go here and my family don't eat certain things, that's cool. Maybe I'll pass on that meal or not eat it all, just out of respect and courtesy for certain things. So, yeah. Right. Shout out to DMX, man.
Well, Jazz, you got a commandment for us?
Listen, thou shalt not, are y'all listening? Thou shalt not ask for my number ASAP without even speaking to me. Specifically me. If you don't know me, don't slide into my DM like, yo, we should connect. Let me get your number. Bro, I feel you're so aggressive right now.
Right.
how I'm going to get to know you if you ain't...
Come on, McLovin. Don't even stop. A pimp on drums. Come on, don't start. You ain't even say hey.
Talk for a minute.
Okay. Okay. After the hey, how you doing? Girl on drum. Can I get your number?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm practicing.
Okay, good. You need to spend some time. Y'all be trying to rush this stuff like y'all put
Okay.
But then try to slow it down.
Okay, here you go. Hey, Jazz, hope all is well. Ooh, it's a beautiful day out here. Oh, love those glasses. Can I get your number?
No.
See, that's what we ain't got time to be doing all that. We ready right then and there. Y'all ain't ready for no Boaz. You ain't ready for no Boaz. Because that nigga gonna be right then and there.
Because Ruth actually went out to go talk to Boaz. Don't get it twisted.
Like I said, Boaz was like, hey, I got a lamb on
Boaz was not like that, bro. Boaz was like, where this girl come from? Because she just slid up in my bed like.
Hey, yo, that's a highlight.
I ain't gonna.
All right, commandment number 6. Thou shalt get your facts straight, man. My boy is paid. This is my boy Usher, man. He goes to a strip club and people accusing him of throwing fake dollars. Throwing fake dollars, talking about some Usher broke ass. That's why I don't like these celebrities, because they always doing this. What they don't know is before that even happened, Usher was throwing out thousands of dollars to people.
Is that a strip club?
Yes. So then he was trying to promote he was trying to promote his thing that was going on by throwing out these little, or his promoter was probably throwing out these little dollar bills that had Usher face on it. And they just assumed that they was like, this ain't my fault that you thought this was money when I'm trying to promote something. I thought I already threw a bag.
Strippers be money hungry.
Right, damn. I just gave, and I bought you a bottle. Come on, baby, damn.
Wait, so he gave them money before they did?
No, so Usher tipped, he was already tipping thousands of dollars before he started promoting his business. So the dollar bills look like dollars. Like,
okay.
Like, so they assumed that, I don't know. They got misconstrued.
But it has his face on it.
Yes.
So it's like, that's not fake. We know that's fake money. His face is on it. It was a joke.
Wait, it wasn't even a joke. He was promoting something.
Well, yeah, it wasn't serious.
I saw somebody on Facebook like, I know Usher ain't out here being like Ricky Tan from First Hour. If y'all, you gotta be there.
Look.
All right, commandment number 7: Thou shalt unplug. So life is too short. Don't be afraid to disconnect from the world when it's needed.
Okay.
Commandment number 8.
Commandment number 8: Thou shalt get you a McLovin in your life. Okay. Shout out to my boy McLovin.
Oh my God.
Today is the anniversary of the day he almost got arrested at a place we won't announce because we don't want to remind them what happened. For taking for the team, for doing something by any lit ass means necessary. McLovin almost got arrested for trying to get a picture with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and
Marcus Darius.
There we go. Classic moment. DM.
First, I didn't cry. It happened. That's one. And what's the NBA? No, I'm playing. Y'all might try to get me. So that guy who worked for the NBA, I don't fool with you, cuz real talk, cuz detained me for several hours. And Mary Jane and there was just outside.
Why are you detaining me?
Why is you detaining me?
I'm talking about, bruh. I just knew I was going to jail that day. I was like, yeah, it was worth it though. So that was that. 2 years later.
We're glad you did. All right, Jazz, commandment number 9.
I think that's perfect for my commandment because commandment number 9, I'm like, shoot your shot. Okay, stop being afraid. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Literally, whether it's sliding in somebody's DMs or trying to take a picture with a
You contradict yourself. First,
you're a liar.
You asking me now to prep myself to shoot my shot.
But you need to shoot it with strategy and respectfully.
Thank you.
Or maybe I want to be like Steph Curry who catch and shoot. Boom, I see what I like. Boom, what's up?
But the difference between you and Curry is he shoot and he make it. Curry ain't like, oh, I'm going to shoot at the wrong time. No, he plans and then he shoots. There's a play, run the play.
I've seen Curry shoot from half court. That ain't no
I have too in real life.
Exactly. So there's no play for that.
There is a play for that.
It's called skill.
Anyway, commandment number 10, the final commandment, and this is a good time. Thou shalt know the boy tatted up. I just got a tattoo, y'all. My first tattoo. Easter Sunday. Yes, I know y'all niggas might be like, "Ooh, and is." But I got a tattoo. My first tattoo up. I'm excited, yo. My first tattoo is literally from my wrist to what is it called? What's it called?
Your forearm?
That from wrist to forearm. You know what I'm saying? I took it like a G. Shout out to Reggie Williams Jr. for doing my tattoo. Good dude.
Are you gonna show us the tat?
Oh yeah. Well, you know it's an appealing stage. I don't want to show you.
Oh well.
What is it?
Still, I need to see proof.
Y'all know I'm black, so I got to shine it on me.
But we like black because black is fine.
Okay, look at you. Okay, you got a real tattoo, not a little stick. What is that, a bear?
So, no, see, it's a Kanye West bear.
Oh, that's a panda, fool.
Well, I call it Kanye West Bear, and let's not call it a planet. He has a name. Thank you. I called it Tattoo 1 because this is my first one, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna have more. So everybody know I'm tatted up like Fabo. You know what I'm saying? No shirt all summer.
Virgin skins be like,
Turn up,
sheesh.
McLovin. Well, those were our top 10 DM commandments. We're gonna attack one more question, and then we're gonna let you know what the poll said. Let you know what our listeners were thinking on tonight's topic. So my question, though I know you all gave certain answers earlier in the show, but do you feel like we're still being lied to?
Yes.
The social medias tell us what we should be doing, especially as millennials. And the social media influence how we see ourselves in our lives currently.
To answer the first question, I feel like we're not being lied to. We're just like, for some of us, we're just left out there. Like, consider what millennials are equipped with to survive and make a living. So we're not being told anything anymore. We're not, being provided any type of guidance or anything. We're just out here saying, we're out here moving from one job to the next because we're not happy with how one corporation is treating us. And then we are just putting up with the BS of just regular day-to-day life.
Interesting.
I think we've been lied to. I mean, we still have the stigma in the sense of like, which is why my tattoo is so meaningful to me also, which goes into what I'm about to say. Kanye speaks on College Dropout 2004 about, just like going to school, getting your education. You're going to be this, you're going to make all this money. You're going to be this type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we are still pushing that narrative that if you go to school, get your degree, you're going to get this type of paying job that's going to put you in door to do this and this and that, woo. Or if you join this group, you're going to be set for life, this and that, or you do a collaboration with this person, this is going to put you on. If you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we are still being lied to. I think something we just need to just like take out that the mindset of certain things and success and achievement, or a blueprint, I guess, of how to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different routes for different folks. It's not just one route.
I don't know.
So do you believe that if you go to school, you're just gonna be making more money?
No, I'm saying I don't believe that we're still being lied to. I just feel like the whole not having the resources is just being continued. That's how I feel, because I don't feel like anybody is telling us anything. We're adults, but we're also not equipped with the proper resources that they have been telling us as a child to like go out and achieve. And
the resource is being white.
Okay, that might just be it. You might be right. You might be right.
Let me cover up my
white folks I don't know, white folks our age, they seem to have it all together.
But they got it all I'm like, damn, nigga, what?
They seem to have it all together.
Me and my mom always talk about how like sometimes, especially like in white families, white kids, like they get to experiment. They get to go start a business, file for bankruptcy, start another business, file for bankruptcy. They get multiple opportunities to get it together. Jazz, what do you think?
I want to say this. Somebody said, is that being lied to, or is that believing everything you're told?
If being told to me and they are telling it to me as if it's a fact, that is lying to me.
I want to give. Oh, go ahead. My bad, McLovin.
That's it. I mean, yeah. It's not.
You can make a choice.
But if their intention is to make me believe what they're saying, regardless
of still being lied to,
are you still lying? For example, I could be yo nigga. Oh baby, I don't know who Keisha is. Regardless if you believe it or not, that's me lying to you. That's the goddamn. I need another drink. Hold on.
Oh my god.
I saw this social media post that I thought was so really fitting to what we're discussing tonight. But it says social media has convinced people in their mid to late 20s that if you aren't married with kids, a mansion, 3 cars, a rental property, then they're failures and they're not successful. What do you are? Well, yeah, go ahead, Jazz. What you think?
Whatever you tune into, you turn into. Whatever you tune into, you turn into. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, like, okay, so for example, because I have students, like, shout out to WCYE, I love y'all. So their generation, our social media generation, like our kids and our like nieces and nephews are strictly off of like
our siblings,
right? Right, they're very savvy. However, if there's like no education of who they are, I think that it only becomes a lie when there's a lack of information. So this goes back to training and what are you doing at home? What are the parents doing? Like if we're talking about children and teenagers, but even adults too, like a lot of times we get out of the vibe, we get out of our flow because we tune into social media 24/7. Now I understand that this ain't nothing but ESPN highlight reel. Hello, somebody. And we're comparing our practice session time to somebody else's stage show time. I talked about my homeboy today, like a lot of it, and this for the drummers, bro. Like we be comparing ourselves to other people's chops and comparing our chops. And for those people who don't know what chops is, it's like all the stuff that go, you know, the crazy stuff that y'all love, right? We comparing our practice time chops to somebody else's showtime chops, meaning you miss the entire journey of that, whoever that drummer is on stage, his preparation and his sleepless nights and his thousands of hours to put in to get the showtime, and you compare his showtime to your practice time. That don't make no sense. And that's literally what social media is done because we tune into it every day. Like my whole habit is in the morning not to look at my phone when I first wake up because it becomes a cycle and we're creatures of habit. And if you don't pay attention to your thoughts, your patterns, and your habits, then you just end the days. And that's how you become trained. And now that's exactly what they want because now we on a platform that's getting paid and they children's children, okay, but our children's children are not. Matter of fact, we don't even have nothing set up for our children's children. So I don't even think that it's a lack of resources because it's there. When you look for something, you find it, right? If a mad girl, right, she got that cheating dude, right? She gonna find what she wants. Let's talk about it. If you know something up, I'm gonna look, and then eventually what? You find what you're looking for. So when you seek for it, you find it. And I think that that's law. Like, so, and now granted, I say that lightly because I know that certain people are brought up in certain circumstances, but that go back to your mindset situation. Like, what do you believe? Like, what do you really, really believe in? Because whatever you believe in is what's gonna happen to you. Period.
Period. Cool.
Did anybody want to add? Oh, wow, my voice is cracked.
Got you nervous, huh?
What'd you say?
I said, got him nervous, huh?
Oh no, I guess I'm going through puberty again. That's all right.
I can say that I do think that social media can contribute to how we feel about those goals that we want to achieve. And you just have to realize that it's time for me to disconnect from this.
Right.
It is hindering my ability to grow and also just recognizing who I am and what I have contributed to these goals. Social media is not the answer to achievement. It's not at all. So people just have to be able to reflect quickly and know when it's time to disconnect.
And numbers don't equivalent to money.
Sure don't.
Well, speaking of numbers, shout out to our friends on social media. They completed some polls for us. And so we asked the question, do you feel like you were lied to as a kid? 76% said yes. 24% said no, not really.
Wow.
The next poll, do you believe, what'd you say?
I just said, wow.
Do you believe that someone, oh, you said, wow, okay. I guess it was a delay. So do you believe that someone can become anything that they want to be? 83% said certainly. 17% said, nah, that's cap. Okay. Next question. In 2021, we didn't even get to this one. What is manifestation? Is it a real thing or is it just a hustle to sell books? 83% said a real thing. 17% argue it's a hustle. Oh, we didn't even get to talk about that one.
Part 2 coming.
Right, part 2, exactly. And the last one, the question that we posed, generally speaking, what lies were you told as a kid? Shout out to Jazz Kelley. She said Santa was real. I was adopted, and the stork delivered me to the front door. Dang. Read between the lines, Mom.
My mom told me that for real.
Shout out to @Amber Linnell Yoga. Santa is real. You need college to be successful. Okay. @Rogers1906 says Santa Claus is real. Okay, a lot of Santa Claus. And I'll read one more. @Drea MDOTRN. Okay. Study hard and you'll pass. That's a good one. Boy,
Keep hard.
Oh man, when it went to
algebra. I want to add another one. Movies. I feel like movies lied to us.
Oh man.
Movies really painted the picture of perfection, or like, I don't know. It was very idealistic. Like, I don't know.
Any Jay-Z fans?
Oh, me.
All right. Remember the beginning of Kingdom Come album? You got this fantasy in your head about getting out of the light. You remember that song? It's the prelude. Kingdom. Okay. I thought I was talking to real Jay-Z fans. It's all good.
I said, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a real Jay-Z fan, but I'm a Beyonce fan.
Well, it was a sound bite from this movie called The Mac, which is one of my favorite movies. Don't ask why. Jazz, were you about to ask something?
No.
Oh, I thought.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for tuning in to our conversational piece. We are now going to transition into Kicking It with Karys Belger, our Dear Millennials correspondent. Here she is.
Hi guys, thank you for having this space and inviting me into the place. I am going to bring you updates about concerns medical professionals are having about a particular strain of the coronavirus that really came up and became prominent in the UK. There are multiple cases now in the United States, and the reason medical professionals are so concerned is because this strain is having an extreme impact on younger people, people under the age of 55. In fact, they are making up the largest population of hospitalizations across the country. And the reason why they're so concerned is because there's still not complete research on how all of the different versions of the vaccine are going to have an impact on this strain of the virus. But as the cases are popping up, it's basically a mad dash between the virus and the vaccine to see and make sure as many people as possible are vaccinated and protected against this new strain, because we don't know how detrimental it'll be to everyone's overall health yet. So right now, medical professionals are saying if you are vaccinated, you should still be taking precautions. And if you're not vaccinated, you should be especially careful. And one thing in particular they're really concerned about is travel, especially younger people. Millennials and Gen Z are traveling more. And so they're really concerned that they'll bring the strain of the coronavirus into different places where people are vaccinated, or if they're going into a place where not as many people are, more and more people could get sick. So medical professionals are really recommending you continue to wear your mask, double mask even. And not only that, if you are not completely sure that the person next to you, near you, you're interacting with is vaccinated, then you should really keep your distance and be safe. And of course, wash your hands. I always say hand sanitizer should be your side piece, not your main squeeze. This is Karys Belger. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Karys. Shout out to Karys Belger, our Dear Millennials correspondent, our favorite news journalist, reporter. She's a proud alum of Spelman College, also Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. So shout out to Karys. Thank you so much. Y'all be careful traveling, wear your mask. She definitely gave a lot to consider, especially when it comes to vaccinations and just how we have to take even more precautions with this new variant out of COVID-19. So thank you so much, Karys. You all can follow her at Karys Belger. Find her any and everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All right. If you're watching YouTube, please make sure you hit the like button. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Helps the algorithm, helps people find the show. It is now time for our DM open letter with McLovin.
Dear Millennials, we've always been told that we can be whatever we want. These things can be true as long as you take the proper steps. Some things that you'll need to take home with you after today. If you can believe it, you can receive it. If you can dream it, you can become it. Also, there's no such thing as a duplicate life. Everyone has to drive in their own lane. At the end of the day, the only true cheerleader is you. A philosopher named J. Cole said, even if you let them kill your dream, it'll haunt you. Might as well go out with a bang. It is McLovin, and this is your open letter. Have a lit ass week.
Thank you so much, McLovin. Speaking of J. Cole, Jazz Kelley, you performed with J. Cole before. What was that like?
Long. It was the longest night of my life. So, it was actually for the middle child video shoot, and he wanted an all-female drum line.
I remember that.
He wanted an all-female drum line for that video shoot, and I got the call. Shout out to Drumline Live. Also, shout out to Atlanta Drum Academy and Atlanta Drum Academy Elite, because I got that call. But it was cool. It was definitely, that was like I'm trying to remember if that was my first film that I did, but I can't really remember. My timeline's fuzzy. But it was definitely an experience. It was super easy to work with him. Everybody was pretty much professional. And because I play drums, like for real, and I'm not an actress or an actor. Pause. Okay. Did y'all pick up what I just put out?
Because you already in a...
Yeah, so I mean, I was already a musician. It wasn't that hard for me. It was just like going in, showing up, being professional. But he was super, super cool. Super tall. I look up to him.
Oh, he's tall. J. Cole is tall.
J. Cole is tall.
He seems like he's average height to me.
Well, maybe average for us, like when we grew up, our dads and uncles were like 6'3". That was average for us. But now men are like, no shade, a little shorter. And that's okay, because we love short guys too. I mean,
no, we don't. No,
I love y'all. I just don't prefer. That's why
I tried to give a short guy a chance, and he acted just like the tall guys. What?
Look,
Jazz, how tall are you?
First of all this slander.
I wasn't throwing slander. I said
Jazz,
I love short guys, and Mary Jane said, "Nah, we don't."
Because we don't. I gave a short guy a chance, and he acted just like the tall guys. So
See, what you need to do is let that hurt
it ain't no difference.
They all act the same. Height does not matter. Get what you like.
Hey, this shout out to Mandy Lark on my Facebook. This is so time because she just posted today. She said, "Where the tall niggas at? I'm sick of these little mamas."
Oh, I saw that.
Gang, gang. But no, seriously, everybody in their own lane, though. You know what I mean?
But this is for tall girls. This is for tall girls.
So how tall are you, Jazz?
No. This ain't for. I don't speak up for the community. Don't have them coming after me.
I do. Okay, I'm speaking for it.
I speak for me.
Tall.
Jazz,
I'm 5'6".
tall guys.
That ain't tall, Des. I mean, Mary Jane.
Yes. How tall are you?
How tall? 5'8".
Oh my God.
We're the same height.
Okay. Tall guys, short guys, and guys that are
Man, I thought Jazz, you were a good.
She talking like she's Shaquille O'Neal.
Me?
You could shoot.
McLovin.
You see how they do us? Well, Jazz.
No.
Jazz, is there
nothing against y'all? Sorry.
Man, y'all. Whatever, bye Felicia. That's how I'm feeling right now. No, I'm just playing. But Jazz, is there anything that you want our listeners to know? You got any upcoming projects? Anything you want to announce? How can they keep in touch with you?
It's your girl Jazz Kelley. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Jazz Kelley, and that's Kelley. Okay. Put some respect on my name. But either way, Jazz Kelley _ on all social media platforms. If you're on Facebook, it's going to be the Jazz Kelley. But if you type in my name, I'll pop up. Also, April 19th, I'm going to be launching my t-shirt brand, which is Girl on Drums. And I'm super excited. The first launch is going to be for the ladies. So I got some dope stuff coming. And you can keep up with me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube at Jazz Kelley. And then also you can subscribe to my community at girlondrums.com. All of the stuff is in my social media bio and in my handles. And if you're reading, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. So yeah, all that stuff's coming April 19th. And I'm super, super excited. And then I guess stay tuned for like the TV stuff, because that don't come out till either later this year or next year. So.
Well, we're excited to see all that's coming forward. Congratulations on all of your success, Jazz Kelley, Girl on Drums. We appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your day, out of your evening to kick it with us. Definitely a classic episode. I can't wait to listen back, and definitely we'll be sharing the gems that you dropped, because you dropped so much for us. So again, Jazz Kelley, Girl on Drums, episode number 4. Where we lied to as kids. We appreciate you all listening. If you're watching YouTube live, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all social media. All you got to do is search Dear Millennials. If you want to listen to Dear Millennials, a Little Ass Podcast, just search Dear Millennials everywhere. It's your boy Top Rank Marvin Frank. Thank you all so much again just for taking time out of your evening. If you're listening, if you're watching, thank you so much. We appreciate you all. You all make this all well worth it. Shout out to the greatest team in the world, McLovin, Mary Jane. Love my family. Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. My granny, my grandmother, my granny, my uncle, everybody. One last thing. Shout out to my cousin, Cornelius Thomas. He just opened up his own realty firm, and he named it in honor of our grandmother. I think it's called a realty firm. But anyway, shout out to you, cuz. McLovin.
Man, you already know what it is. It's your boy McLovin. Shout out to, man, my family, my friends, me for my tattoo, you know what I'm saying? Because your boy took it like a king. I'm talking about, I was like, give it to me.
Man, give birth. Try having given birth.
Oh,
No.
he was like,
shut up. You practicing? What you gonna say?
Wow,
Hey,
bro.
man, I love my son, man. Dale, I love you. Man, he got it. We hoping for good results on your test this Friday. Daddy loves you. I know you ain't gonna be watching this, but still, this is proof that I be calling you out. Mary Jane.
All right, it's your girl Mary Jane. Shout out to Jazz Kelley, man. You are amazing. I love everything that you do. It's a whole lot of ASU Rams magic, whole lot of gang SIT going on. I love it. Incredible work. I'm so proud of you. Shout out to my family as well. My mom, my dad, my siblings, my grandparents, my main squeeze, my only squeeze, my man. And shout out to the short guys, because I just kind of feel bad now, Marvin. And
Bro, first of all, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I went to the doctor the other day, and
y'all were just so offended. But y'all were just so offended. Now I feel bad.
I grew a half inch at 28. Come on now.
It's okay. It's okay. Y'all get women, so somebody likes it. It's okay.
Let me also say this: people who are listening, I'm not sure. I'm not tall either. Okay.
What are you?
I'm soft.
I'm a man. I'm a black man.
Good
Short dick for my thing long. Ain't that what he said? Whatever dude said.
Hey, we all come up short in something, you know.
Right.
Wow. Oh yeah,
I'm not 16. It's cool.
Catherine Belger too. We appreciate you. I don't know if we can announce your official title, but we'll just say that's Care Bear's mama, y'all. That's Karys' mama. So shout out to Miss Kathy. Thank you so much for rocking with us. All right, you all know how we end it, and the anthem goes: "Have a lit ass week to you, my friend."
We sing it together because we ain't.
It's gonna be all over. You know what? Let's make this easy. We're gonna make this easy. I know how to close us out. I didn't upload the video. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, have a lit ass week.
Lit ass week.
Yo, hold on. Merch, real quick. Hey, bro, you need
this shirt. First of all,
oh yeah, we gotta shout out the merch real quick before we go.
Yo, hold on. Merch, real quick. Hey, bro, you didn't even shout it out.
I think I put it out right there for a reason.
All right, let them know.
All right, y'all make sure, tis the season, man. Y'all already know we always rocking with the HBCU. Man, make sure y'all grab y'all HBCU Grads Matter. We got them in all color. Whatever your college is, we got you. Make sure that y'all look it up on the link tree on our Instagram page at Dear Millennials _.